What's going on, guys? Oh, me. Gonna get on here today, and I had I don't know if he's a subscriber or not, but he's one of my viewers, and he wanted me to do a video, or he requested me to do a video, the comparisons between, like Indiana Transport and Bennett. That's basically what he asked. I'm pretty sure, just probably a couple other companies, that I think basically one of his concerns is like rates, and then especially like the EOD. So, so I'm gonna go ahead and I made some notes and sort of some comparisons. The reason he asked me to do this is because since I work for both places, most of y'all know I've been with I was with Indiana for I guess almost 3 years, and then of course my truck went down, and with the CP4 pump and all that stuff, and then so I had to end up leasing. And for those of y'all that's wondering, I am back with Indiana Transport, and I did whenever I got my truck fixed. I decided that because I had a couple friends that worked for Bennett, they seemed to enjoy it, so I figured why not? Let's give it a try. Because the rates was better. I was sort of iffy, one because of EOD, two, just because it was a change. I'm the type of person, I don't like change. So, basically the unknown. Yeah, I know a lot of people put down Indiana Transport, and I do too. And so I I'd let you know a little bit why I went back to Indiana. And the main reason is because I know how they operate. Is it the best company? No. To be honest with you, there ain't no company out there that's the best company. Um, Somebody may drive for a company, and to them, yeah, it is the greatest company they've ever worked for. But to somebody else, it may not be. And, guys, that's what makes us all different. Like I've said in a lot of my videos, is, what company is good for me may not be good for you. What you like about a company, I may hate, and vice versa. Um, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I sort of lost my train of thought. So basically, like I was trying to say, what you like about a company, I may hate. What I like about a company, you may hate. So it all depends. And I watched C Farmer's video that he just put out tonight, and he was saying one thing that I'm trying to think. I sort of lost my train of thought. That basically, one of the main reasons that I sort of went to Bennett is just to see, what else is out there. Because you never know until you try. So I figured I'd give them a shot, and I had 6 months left, or I had 6 months to be able to come back to Indiana without having to go back to orientation again. Basically, just go back, do my drug test, and I'm ready to rock and roll. So I figured I'd give Bennett a shot. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for me. And guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. Y'all stay tuned into the video, and I will let you know why it didn't work out for me. I did put out a video, saying, how they did me with the sign-on bonus and all that stuff. I'm not going to get in, to all that. Yeah, I'm going to mention that's the reason I left. Other than that, do I think Bennett's a good company? Probably so. It was just the way they done me. I've got, like I said, a couple of guys, a couple of friends that's been over there. They love it. Absolutely love it. A lot of people I talk to, they love it. As far as the company as a whole, it's probably a great company. As far as the drive away and tow away and stuff like that division, the power only, that's operated out of the Middlebury office, it needs some major changes in my opinion. So, but anyway, so the guy that requested this, his name is Alex. I don't know if it's Alex and something else, or if it's Alex Anderson or something like that. I don't know. But his name's Alex. Sorry, I didn't get that completely right. But Alex, I hope this helps you out, and anybody else that's wondering, I hope this helps you out. So a little bit of comparison between Indiana and Bennett. So with Indiana, you have self-dispatch. Yes, there are other companies out there, besides Indiana and stuff that has self-dispatch. So I've heard. I don't know for a fact because I've never driven for them. But so I've heard you got to work your way up to the self-dispatch. So basically you start off as having to call in and get your loads each time until you meet a certain requirement, either mileage, so many states, or whatever. And then they will transfer you over to self-dispatch. Indiana, you start right out at self-dispatch. As soon as you come out of orientation, they will give you your first load. More than likely, it's going to be a short one. After you deliver that, then they open up the board to you. And the only thing you have to do, get on your phone, get on your tablet, iPhone, iPad, whatever, and scroll through the load board. And if you see something you want, you click it. If it's available, then it's yours. Usually within 30 minutes or an hour or so. Excuse me. You got your you got half your pay, and they email your paperwork. Normally you got like 24 hours to get up there, pick it up, and then just deliver it in a timely manner. Hold on a second. Let me cut this scanner down. Alright, sorry about that. I'm in my little office here, so. As far as Bennett, they do have a load board, and it, it'll tell you, it doesn't break it down quite like, Indiana does, but it shows your pickup and your destination location. It doesn't give you the address, nothing like that. On the load board, it just says, pick up in Orlando, Florida, take it to, say, Abilene, Texas, or whatever. So it'll tell you the weight, and it'll tell you the miles, and it will basically tell you whether it's a bumper pull or it will actually say ball hitch or gooseneck or pintle hitch, which is most of the ones that they pull. And I get into that here in just a few minutes. I'm trying not to make this video that long. So basically you call in. They got different dispatchers throughout the country, and they're sort of like brokers / dispatchers, but they only dispatch for Bennett. So you call in to them, and they will tell you the rate, and then you can decide whether you want to take it or not. The way they do on their advance is you get, I think it's 70% of your advance, but you don't get it all at once like you do, like half with Bennett or with Indiana. So you get 70% of your advance, but the way it works is you get $800 per day up until you meet whatever your advance is. So say if the load paid $2,000, well, you get roughly $1,200 or so advance. So you get $800 the first day, then you get that other $400 or so the next day. So that's all you get the second day, and then your 70% will be maxed out. Then whenever you deliver the load, then you'll get the remainder. Click on this before it goes away. All right, so yeah, you call in, and then same thing. They email you your paperwork and put your advance on your card. And that's one thing that I really like as far as Indiana is the self-dispatch. I do not like calling in and to get my load or whatever like that. So I love the fact in Indiana you got self-dispatch. I don't have to talk to nobody. Fuel discount. From what I've seen, fuel discount, you know, I've always said Indiana has one of the best fuel discounts in the industry. Bennett is pretty much right there with them. I've noticed, you know, on a lot of different places that Bennett's fuel discount is about 5 cents less or so than Indiana's, but for the most part, it's right there at the same. Indiana, as far as rates, just about all y'all know, Indiana has pretty much the worst rates in the industry. They're not the lowest, but they're one of the lowest. So yeah, Indiana, low rates. Bennett, pretty good. Not all of them, and see, that's like I said, that you may pick up in one place or pull in one type of thing, and you know, I mean, rates can be different. I picked up one in, just real quick, I'll give you an example. And guys, keep in mind, whenever you go to Bennett or wherever, rates could change. This is the time of the video or the time that I worked at Bennett. So, my first load was a vacuum, a pintle hook vacuum, going from Columbus, Ohio to St. Louis, Missouri. Paid me $2 a mile. My second load was from Oxbosh, Missouri, which was up around, I mean, so west of St. Louis, and going to right there around Tampa, Florida. So, or basically right there in Tampa, Florida. It was a striping machine on a trailer. It was a ball hitch. Thing only weighed like, I don't know, 2,500, 3,000 pounds. It only paid $1.50 a mile. Got great fuel mileage. My third load, that was a beast. If you don't remember, go back and watch the one, the video from, I don't know, about a couple months ago, going from Florida to Texas. So I picked that one up. I went from Tampa, Florida. I deadheaded, and I'll get with that here in a minute. You got Backhauls with Bennett. So I deadheaded over to Orlando, Florida, which was like 100 miles. Picked up this load, and I took it to I think it was out close to Austin, Texas. It was in the middle of a windmill farm, back off in the middle of nowhere, off a beaten road, about 20 miles off the highway. That thing was a 5-spool pintle hitch trailer. It had 3 tandem axles, tandem tires. That trailer, the regular empty weight was 15,000 pounds. That was a lot of weight on my bumper. Paid $2.50 a mile. Not all of them pay that. Most of the ones at Bennett, for what I've seen, anywhere between $1.50 to $2. Somewhere right there in the middle. But, and then my fourth load, which was my last load, which is where they screwed me on my sign-on bonus. And that one was a horse trailer going from up around Elkhart, Indiana, taking it to Las Vegas, Nevada. It paid, I think, $1.67 a mile. So, so yeah, the rates are a little bit better. Just depends on what you pull. So with Indiana, you're pretty much limited to only campers, being travel trailer or fifth wheel. At Bennett, you can pretty much pull anything. I mean, you just look at the load board, and I mean, if you're able to pull it and stay under your 26,000, then yeah, you can pretty much pull it. It's liable to be pintle hitch. It's liable to be a gooseneck. It's liable to be a fifth wheel, a cargo trailer, one of those spool trailers that like the electric company, utility companies use. It could be a boat. Guys, it could be anything. If pretty much if you can put it behind your pickup, you can pretty much pull it. For the most part of what I've seen, most of everything they pull is going to be pintle hitch. So if you decide to go Bennett, you probably want to get a pintle hitch. As far as backhauls at Indiana, since I've been back, I've been seeing quite a few backhauls throughout the country. Normally, your backhauls was like store to store, stuff like that. So like here, I live in Baldwin, Mississippi, so Great American RV. You might have one going from Baldwin, Mississippi to Columbus, Mississippi, or to Tanner, Alabama, or Hammond, Louisiana, or something like that. Basically, store-to-store transfer. Or once you get out west, like around Idaho and Oregon, we got a couple yards out there, and you're liable to get maybe a backhaul. But for the most part, they used to be pretty much slim to none. Pretty much whenever you go out, you're coming back empty. As far as Bennett, they got stuff picking up all over the country. Now, whenever I was with them, it was slow, and very slow. Of course, it was slow everywhere. That was during Thanksgiving and Christmas time and stuff like that. So, like I said, everything was slow. But you're allowed to pick up anywhere. Like I said, you may go 100, you may deadhead 100 miles, you may deadhead 50 miles, you may have to deadhead 300 or 400 miles. It just depends on you. So if you're with Bennett, then based on whenever you're working that load board, because like with Indiana, you just get on the load board and you automatically know that you're picking up in Indiana, and then you just take it to wherever. With Bennett, it's almost like you're an owner operator with a trucking company. You got to work that load board. So you got to figure out what areas have the most work. And so whenever you pick a load, you need to try to pick a load going to that area that has the most work, so that way you can get a backhaul going somewhere else. And then try to get that backhaul going somewhere else that has a lot of work. So like I said, you just got to work that load board. As far as runs, from what I've seen, Indiana pretty much has longer runs. Yes, they got a lot of the short runs, coming out of Indiana, going to stores in Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, stuff like that. But for the most part, you could get a run going all the way from Indiana all the way to California, or from Indiana all the way down to Florida. Bennett does have those. I've seen them get a load going from California all the way over to Virginia, coast to coast. But for the most part of what I've seen, most of your loads with Bennett is normally 250, 300 miles, maybe up to about 500 miles or so. Like I said, every once in a while you'll see that long one, coast to coast, or 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 miles. But from what I've seen, most of them are right there in between 250 to 500. Let's see here. As far as your Deadhead, Indiana, with Indiana Transport, like I live way down here in North Mississippi, so whenever I go to pick up a load, I have to drive all the way to Elkhart, Indiana, empty. So yeah, that sucks. With Bennett, it just depends. You liable to get on the load board, and I mean, there could be a load picking up in your hometown. Or you may have to deadhead. Say like I live right here close to Tupelo. I don't live in Tupelo, but close to it. So I can get on the load board, and there's liable to be one picking up in Tupelo, say going to California or Florida, or it may just be going to Birmingham. Who knows? 150 miles. Or the closest one that I see could be picking up in Birmingham, so I got deadhead 150 miles, or it could be picking up in Little Rock, or like that one I picked up in Oxbosh, Missouri. That was a little over 400 miles away. I had a deadhead. So it just all depends on what's on the load board. And I mean, they're liable to pop up anytime. And that's the thing. That's another thing I like about Indiana, is I know for a fact that whenever I pick up, I'm going to Indiana. And then I get on the load board and I'll find out what I want. So I know I'm going to Indiana. Then I go to wherever I'm delivering to. With Bennett, you just get on the load board and you just basically hope for the best. Hope there's a load picking up near you. Let's see here. As far as different opportunities with Indiana Transport, you're pretty much stuck with just basically like doing stuff with your pickup towaway. So either you can do the single pull towaway, if you want to buy a truck to do the haul and tow, or if you want to buy a trailer to do multi-haul, or if you just want to buy like a pull behind car, or if you want to take a bus or train or plane or whatever, then you can do drive away. So that's pretty much the only opportunities with Indiana. With Bennett, pretty much it's could be endless. So say if you come over here with a pickup and you want to start out in power only division pickup, and then later on say you want to buy a semi truck and do power only with that, they do that. If you want to decide you don't want to do the power only no more, and you want to go pulling flatbed or oversized or stuff like that, then you can do that. They got the mobile home transport division, so you can set your truck up as a toter, and semi truck as a toter, and do that. There's just endless opportunities at Bennett that you can do. As far as ELD, this was a big one for me. I don't like ELD. Some people love it. Quite honestly, I think it's unsafe, because now that computer is basically telling you when you can drive, no matter whether you're tired or not. Now, yes, I know in the end, then you have to make your own decisions whether or not you feel comfortable driving or not. But if you're driving for a company and they want that load there on a certain time, then you think they care how you feel? No. They look on their computer and they say, well, hey, you got all this time to drive. Well, yeah, I've been sitting on the dock. I had to take my 10-hour break sitting on the dock to get loaded. And I wasn't able to sleep because they kept coming up knocking on my door and all this stuff. So now, whenever your 10-hour break is up and your 11 hours of drive time starts, well, now you're driving tired. So that's why I think it's unsafe. That's just me. But with Indiana Transport, we do run, we do use the motive, keep trucking out. So yes, we do, I guess in a sense, run ELD, but you run it like paper. So not saying people get out here and cheat and all this stuff. No, don't do that. But yeah, you just run it like that. It's not tied into your truck, so you have to manually put in every time you stop, you pre-trip, off duty, all that stuff, just like you would on paper. With Bennett, it's tied into your truck. That thing tells you, and it tells the company, if I go out here and start my truck and just let it run for an hour just sitting there, it's going to tell that company that I cranked my truck. It's going to tell the company, and it's going to tell my logbook when I shut my truck off. Once I reach, I think it's 5 or 6 miles an hour, it's going to automatically click me over to driving. So no scrolling around the parking lot, or strolling around the parking lot, whatever you want to say. And whenever your 11 hours is up, it's up. So you better know where you're going to park, and you better be there. You know, like I said, I don't really like the ELD. I can deal with it in a way, but the biggest thing that I did not like about Bennett is the camera. They got a camera facing forward, and it's sort of like a dash cam, but it is tied in to your ELD. So the biggest reason they use it is insurance. So they, not saying I'm an unsafe driver, because I'm not. I've got a clean driving record, and I have for years. My 20 years of trucking, I've only had one accident, and it wasn't my fault. Actually, it was ruled unpreventable. So if you're speeding, if you're going over like 5 or 6 miles an hour, then it would basically hit you on that, and basically you got so many points, and so it'll start deducting points. Well, the thing about that is you know, some of these cities, like say Atlanta or Dallas or somewhere like that, I'm sorry, but if you're not going along with the speed of traffic, then you're either liable to get run over or shot. So I mean, if the speed limit's 55, that's what they want you to do. Otherwise, you're going to get hit for it. Everybody else is flying by you, cutting you off, trying to run you off the road, because everybody else is doing 70 and 80. Following too close. Another thing about speed real quick. Like California, for an example. So California, they sort of say for commercial vehicle, but technically it's 3 axles or more, or if you're pulling a trailer, 55 miles an hour. If you're not pulling a trailer, so say like a pickup, then you only got 2 axles, so speed limit's like 75. Well, the way Bennett sees it is that you're a commercial vehicle, so if you're doing over 55 miles an hour, guess what? You're going to get hit for speeding. So going to the camera, they want you to maintain a 6-second following distance, and in a way I understand that, and you should, but sometimes that's just impossible. And a lot of these rules and stuff they make is for like a semi truck, an 80,000 pound semi truck. Well, I'm a pickup. I mean, I can stop a lot faster. Not saying I should be right on somebody's butt. I shouldn't. But if you're driving down the road and say you got Swift and Snyder trying to pass each other, and then so if you're trying to maintain a 6-second following distance behind, say, Snyder, which is over in the left lane, well, everybody behind you is going to come up and cut you off. So therefore, now you got to slow down to maintain that 6-second following distance between them, and then it just keeps rolling in a ball effect, and you're never going to get around Swift, which is in the right lane. So sometimes it's impossible to do, and I just didn't like that. As far as Indiana transport, as far as strictness, I'm gonna say they're less strict. They're starting to get more strict on certain things, especially like your logbook, but you know, they're a little bit less strict. Bennett, they are strict on everything. Same thing. I got this down here at the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and add this in there to it. Hiring process. Indiana, you pretty much, you got a somewhat clean driving record, and you got a couple months experience towing campers or driving truck or whatever, you're pretty much hired and pass your drug test. Bennett is going to go through a full, just like a big trucking company, because that's what they are. Indiana Transport, and a lot of these transport companies in Indiana, that's exactly what they are. They're just a transport company. Bennett is a true trucking company. So, you know, they're going to do a background check. They're going to check every company you've ever worked for. And if it shows up on your DAC report, which is what most trucking companies report to, and you didn't mention on your application that, hey, you drove for them, then that's liable to keep you from getting hired, because they're going to say, well, hey, you lied to us. You know, of course, you know, with Indiana, the clearinghouse, they do all that stuff. Check with that. They do a background check. Everything. Bennett is strict. Insurance. Indiana Transport. I use McGriff. That's what most people use in Indiana Transport. Their insurance is okay. It's not, you know, I'm gonna say it's just right there in the middle. So it's not terribly high, but it's, I mean, not really cheap neither. But as far as Bennett, they got a lower insurance because they're a big trucking company. So plus they got their own, basically own insurance company. So Indiana Transport and most of the other transport companies in Indiana, then 3/4 or 1 ton truck is what's required. With Bennett, as far as, like I said, as far as right now at the time of this video, and whenever I drove for them, they want you to have a 1 ton, preferably dually. Actually, I think whenever I started with them, you had to have a dually. If you didn't, then they wouldn't even touch you. So you had to have a 1 ton dually. Let's see. I talked about the opportunities that, you know, you can go from pickup to big truck and all that stuff. If you want to, of course, you got to buy it, but you know what I'm talking about. And then as far as pickup and delivery, like I said, pickup and delivery at Bennett is just like a trucking company. Whenever, like I said, it'll give you the state, so you're liable to pick up at a construction site, you're liable to pick up at a dealer, anything, like the vacuum I picked up in Columbus, took it to St. Louis. Well, I picked that up at the people who basically rent it out or whatever at the rental place, and I took it to a job site in St. Louis, Missouri. Same thing with the striping machine. I picked that up at the place that built them, and I took it to like one of the companies that bought it there in Tampa. The 5-spool trailer, I picked that up at a Lando at, I think, Rush Peterbilt, and you know they rented them trailers and stuff like that out, and I took it to a job site in the middle of a windmill farm. And then the horse trailer, I picked it up where they built them up in Indiana, and I took it to the Las Vegas, Nevada for the National Finals Rodeo. That's where I went, and basically I was having a show, so I took it to the show. Then whenever they got done with the show, if they didn't sell it, then they'd put it back on the load board and somebody come pick it up and take it wherever else. So that's pretty much it. I'm sure I missed a few things, but in a nutshell, that's pretty much everything. Some of the comparisons. Like I said, I've got a couple of friends that work for Bennett. They love it. Me, it just didn't work out for me. You know, like I said, there's things at Bennett that I don't like. Same thing with Indiana. Even though that's where I'm at, There's things in Indiana that I don't like, but the things that I do like outweigh, you know, the things that I don't like. So, and one of those, self-dispatch load board. I don't have to call in and talk to nobody. I got a dealership 2 miles down the road from my house. So whenever I deliver, I'm pretty much at home. And, you know, whenever, with Indiana, like I said, I know I'm going to Indiana to one of our 4 or 5 yards to pick up. And I know I'm taking it straight to a dealership. And 9 times out of 10, that dealership is going to be right off the interstate. So, and most of the time, it's a place I've been to several times before. With Bennett, like I said, you don't know where you're picking up. You don't know where you're delivering. It could be at a dealership, it could be at a job site, it could be out in the middle of a field 20 miles off the highway. You just don't know. So, yeah. But anyway, like I said, I know in my last video, I probably put down Bennett pretty hard. And I did. I was just pissed about the way they done me. As far as the sign-on bonus. Giving it to me and then taking it back away. Everybody else got theirs, but for some reason, me. And it's nothing that I did. So, yeah. Pager going off. I don't think it's us. But anyway, so if it wasn't for them, hold on a second. I'm back. That was City Fire Department. They got a structure fire at the one of the elementary schools in the city. So I'm hoping it's not that bad. But anyway, if it wasn't for the way that Bennett done me, you know, with the sign-on bonus and everything, I would probably still be there. You know, like I said, there's a lot of things I didn't like, but for the most part, I mean, like I said, even though, you know, I was, you know, bad mouthing them, whatever you want to call it, on my last video, I mean, for the most part, I think Bennett is a good company. And I mean, there's a lot of things that I liked while I was there. But a lot of people also that I've talked to that, you know, run out of that Middlebury office, a lot of them said same thing. They loved Bennett. They just left because of basically 1 or 2 people in that Middlebury office, which are some of the ones that make some of the decisions. So, me personally, I think that they need to look into replacing some of those people to make it better before they lose any more good drivers. But yeah, if it wasn't for that, I'd probably still be there. Like I said, whenever they done that sign-on bonus, I was done. And then, you know, there's a few other things. If y'all want to know the whole story, go back and watch my previous video on why I left Bennett. So, but anyway, Alex, I hope this helped you out. I hope this answered some of your questions. Anybody else that was wondering, I hope this answered your questions. Video went on a little bit longer than what I was planning on to it, but of course, y'all know I start rambling and get off topic and stuff like that, so sorry. But and then another quick thing I want to throw out there is my last video I had a couple people comment, and I've had a couple people comment in, you know, previous videos about that, you know, don't do this and don't do that, and you talk for 30 minutes on this, and like back whenever I was sick, all you talk for 26 minutes, just telling you you're sick, suck it up. And no, I'm just telling you, I mean, I'm letting my viewers know, hey, what's going on with me. Same thing with the Bennett thing. 30 minutes of talking about blah, blah, blah. And one, if you don't like my channel, don't watch it. Go find somebody else's channel to watch. That's just, I mean, that's just the way I am. And, you know, some people want to get on here, and you know, I'm not talking bad about other YouTubers or anything like that. But, yeah, there's other YouTubers, they, you know, they try to keep it nothing but positive, and that's great. And I try to do the same thing, but at the same time, I'm going to keep it real. Remember that movie Life, Eddie Murphy? I'm keeping it real. So, I mean, if I'm sitting here talking about, say, Indiana transport, which, you know, a lot of times, you know, I'm fussing and stuff about the idiots in the office. Well, if I sit here and make it sound like sunshine and rainbows all the time, then somebody comes over there and leases on with them, and then they see what kind of shit show it is going on in the office, then they're going to look back on me, well, man, you made it sound like it was so great. Well, that's the reason I try to keep it real. I try to show you the good and the bad. If the bad comes up and, you know, and it's putting down that company, so be it. I just want my viewers to know that basically what I see, and basically let them know what to expect if they go somewhere, and something anyway. But anyway, guys, if y'all have any more questions, leave it in the comments. Shoot me an email. If I know this radio keeps going off, sorry about that. But if you got a certain topic that you want me to discuss, send me an email, leave it in the comment, and I'll try my best to do it. So today is Tuesday. This video will be coming out Thursday. I did have a video coming out for my the Gen Y Hitch coming out Thursday, but I decided to go ahead and put this video out. And then another quick thing, most of y'all know I'm supposed to go to the doctor tomorrow to have the ultrasound done on my side, my gallbladder or whatever it is, going crazy, I don't know. They got canceled. Imagine that. So basically the doctor's office called me and said that that they have not gotten approval from the VA yet, even though the VA is the one that called in and scheduled the appointment. So now I got to reschedule it for Friday. Hopefully they get the approval in by then. I don't know. Like I said, that's the VA for you. So anyway, I'm gonna get here and listen to this. But anyway, guys, like I said, hope this helped you out. Sorry, long video. Hopefully y'all stuck through it. But if y'all don't mind, hit that like, share, subscribe button. Leave me a comment. And guys, if y'all work for another transport company, leave it in the comment, and maybe tell a little bit about that company. As far as, you know, trying to get me to come over to another company, it's not going to happen. Sorry. If I leave Indiana Transport, I'm done for good. But, you know, like I tell everybody, do your own research, call and ask questions to all the transport companies, and then pick the one that's best for you. And then, like I said before, you never know until you try. So yeah, if you work for another company, leave it in the comments, tell a little bit about that company if you want to, and then so that way somebody else may see it and help somebody else out. So, but we're gonna get off here, and I will get back with y'all on the next one. As always, y'all be safe. Semper Fi.